Well, today I'm going to share with you another video, and for those of you who are interested in art, archaeology and things like that, this will be a perfect video for you. Otherwise, there is a segment here that is interesting regarding Magellan and lapu-lapu, as it was narrated by a national and revolutionary filmmaker, Kidlat Tahimik. And I speeded this thing up, and I'm going to put a marker down below where you can click on it and you can go straight to that segment so you don't get bored, just in case. So let's take a look at it, and that's what I'm going to show you. We went to the National Museum of Anthropology, and that is located in Rizal Park. It's fairly close to the ocean, what is it called? Manila Ocean Show or something like that. It's like an aquarium, which I'm going to show you on another video. We visited this place because I said I wanted to see a little bit of the history. And although I found it interesting, I'm not really into arts, but nevertheless, it's part of the touring that I'm supposed to do while I'm in the Philippines. So let's take a look at it. As I mentioned, this is the National Museum of Anthropology that we visited. By the way, it's free, not only for seniors, but it's totally free. And we had to register and went inside. And I saw a lot of interesting things, but I was expecting more than just art. I was expecting more about the diggings, and some of these were later made up as opposed to something that was actually dug out. There are some items that were dug out, but this is basically what this museum is all about. Now, so you don't get bored, you can click down below and it can jump into that area where there is a narration by this nationally known artist and revolutionary filmmaker, and his name is Kidlat Tahimik. I guess that's a code name of some sort. So as you can see, it's mostly artwork. Now this one probably is from a digging that they got out, but there are some, and I'm going to show you some of the diggings that are based on, not based on, but actually they're like burial vessels that were used during that time. And we will get to that point. Again, like what I said, I'm speeding this thing up so you don't get bored until we get to the segment that is the narration by the national artist Kidlat Tahimik. Yeah, it's called Kidlat Tahimik. I guess that's his code name. Now take a look at that image. I don't know what it is, but it looked funny. Oh, this is the exterior. So outside, within the compound is like this nice setup. And this is Jose Rizal, a depiction of Jose Rizal wearing a bahag. I don't really know if he was killed or shot wearing a bahag, or if this is just an artist's conception of what this is all about. Now, here comes the narration.
We always say Magellan, right, but it was his voyage that proved the world was round. But he never made it because he died in Mactan at the hands of lapu-lapu. But he was accompanied by, you see that figure in front of him, na nakabahag. He's the Filipino slave that he had, who guided him across the Pacific Ocean to reach here. But when he got here, the slave could speak the language here. So that means that the first man to go around the world was not a Spaniard, not a Portuguese, but one of our very own.
Now you're the one who created this?
Yes, this is my whole show. My name is Kidlat Tahimik. I'm the conceptualize it. This show came from Madrid last year.
Oh, okay.
It was there for 6 months,
I got it.
and it's now here for about a year. And then it will go to Brazil in September.
I see.
This is lapu-lapu here. And this is Magellan at the last moment. He's being struck down in Battle of Mactan, which is today, April 27, 502 years ago.
Wow. How about that?
So, the history books only mention lapu-lapu, but they don't mention his wife. Lapu-lapu had a wife, and her name was Bulakna.
What is the significance of the wife?
Well, for me, okay, our history books are written by macho men.
I see.
So they neglected to talk about
Sure.
Bulakna. Bulakna is very much alive in the oral traditions in Cebu. So they talk about the wife of lapu-lapu. So in my narrative here, the other thing to know is that in Cebu, before the Spanish came, they already had the martial arts, which was with arnis.
Arnis, yes.
So I could assume that if you're the princess, you must be a black belt also. You must know.
Yeah.
So in my story, lapu-lapu saying, okay, kaya mo yan, I'll just be here in case you need me, but you can finish him off. So she goes, what? Now, this is a little naughty side of history. With armor, this is made of Bajor tin can, but in those days, you were covered with armor everywhere, so no arrow, no dart, no bullet can enter. No? So it was really perfectly, hermetically sealed. But, okay, when you're in the middle of a battle, in the medieval days, wala pang zipper pa nun.
Yeah.
So in the middle of fight, kung medyo, ang hirap magtanggal ng armor. So, they always have a little hole here. So, Samelan. Okay, go on. And she knew where that weak spot was. So, at the last minute, she goes, okay, here goes black. That's straight there. And so, Magellan met his fate. But it's a little bit of a
Interesting.
historical fiction, but she's really a character that was present on April 27, 1521. And here, one last little story. I think you might appreciate. You go down here, you see all these figures with hats
Yeah.
and beaks. Do you recognize those from these three books?
No, that's...
When they had the bubonic plague, they sent out doctors who were
Oh, yeah.
with their costumes to look for among the dead who are still living because the pandemic was so strong. So they were covered with a hat, almost like armor. They had capes, they had the goggles, and they had a beak. The reason why they had a beak was it was full of herbs
Oh.
to protect them from
Really?
the
Do you know
virus.
what herbs they use?
I don't know, but you can research that. You can Google that.
Nice. Good to know.
So, we all know that Columbus brought measles to America, no? And then Cortez brought chickenpox to Mexico, and Pizarro brought some other virus to Peru. So it is not inconceivable that on the boat of Magellan, they must have had some rats who had some viruses and brought some pandemics also to our country. So I showed them with a cannon, but instead of the cannonball is a familiar COVID-19.
Oh, COVID-19 shape, right? So how long did it take you to...
It took about a year to assemble this whole thing. I have carvers from Ifugao who helped me. my concept was accepted in Spain. So this was shown at the Museo, the Reina Sofia Museum. Have you been to Spain?
Yeah.
Yes.
Madrid.
Yeah, so Madrid. So you've been to the Reina Sofia Museum?
No, I don't think you went there.
Or have you been to the Palacio Cristal, which is a glass building in the middle of a park?
No.
That was the part, this is where they showed my...
Remember what museum we went?
Yeah. Doesn't ring a bell.
It's been a while.
Well, thank you very much.
This is a preview of things that are in the museum. You can take a look at it. And I'm going to show you when we get to the diggings on how people were buried in those days. Oh, this is like a show that he created. 2.5 hours of obviously we did not spend that much time. Now this is a sampling of stuff that my wife is more particularly interested in. And by the way, here's the burial. This is some actual diggings that they got out of different places in the Philippines. And no, I don't think these are the vessels. Now these are the vessels that were used. That's how they buried people. Well, as you can see, it's not, people were not buried horizontally, so I guess they just sort of folded them like a baby and stuck them in there, and that's how they got buried. This one is a little bit rectangular. I don't know if that's for babies or just a different shape burial vessels. Well, that's the end, and we had to take a motorized tricycle of some sort to get to SM because we were hungry and we needed to eat lunch or dinner, I think, almost dinner. And we paid somebody to take us there because that would have taken us a little bit of walking. And this is the first time we were on a tricycle. And the reason we're not taking a tricycle is usually there is heavy traffic and you will see the smog coming out of our faces whenever there is a traffic. But this one is nice and clear. So we had fun. And we got to SM. We ate at a Japanese restaurant. And that's how we ended the day. So that is what I can share with you. It was an interesting place. It was not as I expected because I expected to see more diggings and such in archaeology, but there is a lot of mixture of art in this back in those days. And the most interesting part is this narration by this well-known national artist and revolutionary filmmaker. So I'm glad that I went and that he was there, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll appreciate it if you share this with others who are particularly interested in history and arts. Okay, thank you so much for watching. Please do subscribe to my channel unless you have already done so, and please do click like down below, and God bless. Make it a great day.